Here we go again. I've got a charger, but it's not working properly. I couldn't even give the man just a simple £10 note or pay by card, because the financial situation is just that low down for now, and I really don't like it. I really don't. This is my financial situation at the moment. Excuse me, but just because this is my current financial situation, pardon me, to the point where I literally don't have the funds to be able to just give a man a £10 note for a £10 lead or a £9.99 lead. This doesn't mean that things are going to stay this way forever. I'm not saying that to try and motivate myself, but it's true. If I keep on doing what I'm doing, I'll be able to have money coming in from different sources. It's not uncommon. It's not like this outworldly idea. I can absolutely have money coming in. It's more than possible. Regardless of how you get it, legally or illegally, it's possible. If people see that you provide them value, they will pay. Like Michael Drift said, I think he mentioned something about problem solving. If I do that at a large scale, I'll be more than fine for income. However, I do have to remember that financial health isn't only based on income, it's also based on expenses and the habits that are behind both the income and the expenses. Now, that's something that I have to work out, and I have gone out of my way to work out in the past, but maybe I haven't done it recently because I just have other. I would be focused on just getting a job, but as I was saying yesterday, I have been working on doing some of the stuff to get my qualifications. I was doing that yesterday. I haven't done that yet today, but I certainly will go out of my way to do that. And I'll do something similar to how I'm doing it, how I make videos over here, probably. Maybe not, but I'm almost certain, it's very likely that I want to do that. I do like that. I like the idea of an everyday series, but it's not something I really think about. It's just something I do. I like working towards something every day, but again, I don't go about thinking about that on a regular basis. I just do it, and then I experience fulfillment from it. So that's how I like it, from the fulfillment I'd experience by being able to do new things and reaching uncharted territory in terms of my ability. Doing moves that people have made and invented, like the front lever, and one day I myself would like to be the proud owner of some calisthenics moves. Just like how I'd like to be, not necessarily an inventor, but just behind the scenes. Public inventor, just behind the scenes, making my own financial habits to help with income and expenses, so that I'm in a healthy state financially. Because this isn't it. This is not it. It's not fun. Not even being able to give a man a £10 note for a lead, and he's saying £7.99. He's still saying no. You can't do that. Not because you don't want to pay, but because you just don't have the funds. This isn't it, man. And day by day, I'll make sure that I'm never in this situation again. I felt really unhappy when leaving the store, even though it's not to do with him. Well, them really. It wasn't just one person. It's not to do with them. It's not even necessarily to do with me, but more so my situation. I don't like this, and one day I'd like to imagine that as for resources, material resources and experiences, I have what I want and I can go wherever I want very easily, because I'd have the funds to be able to do so and the experience to feel comfortable to go to said place, maybe said area in the UK, or maybe even out of the UK and going to different places in Europe, or maybe just a different continent in general. But I do know one thing. I'd like to imagine that I'd like to imagine that I have symbols that I've come a far way, like financially speaking, like driving a Mercedes. And I say a Mercedes because when I was on the way here, I saw a Mercedes just parked. It was a three-door Mercedes coupe, which I like the look of, and I was thinking one day I'd like to have something like that. I don't think it really matters if it's a Mercedes, but more so what matters to me is having symbols that I have financially come a far way, and maybe just in every aspect of life as well, along with that. Of course, you'd have your financial symbols that you've come a far way, like being able to pay rent, or if for certain people, buying a house if they want to do that, getting a car, financing, leasing, or just straight outright purchasing, whatever they want to do. And then you'd have like your physical health symbols, like how you look, how physically competent you are, and other things like that. I just don't want to be in this situation anymore, and I felt unhappy, as I was saying, when leaving the store, because in my mind I was saying this is so shit. I did this to myself though, and just like how I did this to myself, I can allow myself to grow, and not only get out but stay out of being in a similar predicament. I did this to myself, and again, I'll make sure that I do what it takes to be in a healthier spot, just in life, in all aspects, because I know what it's like to be at the lowest of the low. Well, I've hit my lowest of my lowest of lows mentally last year. That's been and gone. Now it's like financially, I'm hitting my lowest of lows, and I'd like to imagine that next year I won't necessarily be in a financial. I wouldn't have necessarily put myself in a financial space where I'm earning 6 figures yearly and having very little go out, but relatively to that salary. But I'd at least be in a much healthier space financially, where I'd like to imagine at least $1.5 to $2 a month coming in by 1 year. Sure, that's possible. $1.5 grand to $2 within the space of a year. I mean, say I'm doing a £10 an hour job, which I probably would be doing if I'm doing like gym instructor stuff, for example, right? I've spoken to some of the staff here. They're saying, yeah, that's the wage, £10 an hour. It's not time bound, it's value bound. I believe it being paid. That's what I believe, and I stick by that. I think the reason why I would is because I haven't necessarily gone out my way to play devil's advocate to say, you know what, let's just explore the idea that pay is time bound. But I believe that if you are providing value to more people and the perceived value of that service you're providing is higher relative to other things, you're going to get more pay. More people will pay more for your services. or what you show or put on display. And that doesn't necessarily come with a rate time-wise, like per hour, not necessarily. And to support my point, let's go through the lens of paintings. Let's say you've got a painting that costs $1.5 million. That's not going to be like that payment is going to be a one-time thing. It's not going to be X per hour for all of the time that they put into their drawings. This is an idea that I'm exploring right now. So to another individual, this might not make sense, and I'm willing to say that the example I'm giving is not necessarily the most valid of points, because it is an idea that I'm forming right now on the spot. But yeah, man, I think this is not the time to train. This is not, I shouldn't be training right now. I don't mean not today, I just mean this instant, because I've gone and my financial situation is saying no, you can't pay. My parents saying no to me not doing things is one thing. I feel very unhappy about that off the top. But then to add on to that, as icing on the cake, sarcastically speaking, then I've got this, my bank balance saying no, my financial situation saying no. I'm going on the last of the coins that I'd have to be able to pay. And even then, I still would not be able to conjure up the funds to be able to pay for what I want to pay for. I might have used conjuring correctly, I'm not sure. But accumulate the funds to be able to pay for what I need to pay for, or what I want to pay for rather. However, I can go out my way to feel grateful for the fact that although the port on the phone isn't working properly, I can't charge it both ways. It's charging, it's working now, and I now have a price for how much it would be to fix the port. He's given me a price, and I have no issue paying that price, but my bank balance doesn't care if I don't have an issue with that. I say that as if my bank balance is a human being and it's literally telling me no, but it's not. My bank balance is just a balance. It's just a set of digits. It's not a human being that's explicitly said, that's come up to my face and told me, you see that phone lead, we can't pay. You can't get that. We don't have the funds for that. Like, you'd have to go into debt to get that. You'd have to borrow money from somewhere somehow, and have to pay back that individual. I wanted to be able to pay the price that the individual was selling the item for, on the premise I don't think it's extortionate, which in this case I didn't, and I still don't. But why is it that I've allowed myself to get to this point? Well, I've allowed myself to get to this point because I didn't want to be living a way of life that I didn't want to live at uni, where I knew I wasn't taking care of my health and my social health was so low that I was trying to eat away my issues of not speaking to enough people. I try and eat away and travel away from all of the issues that I'd be facing. I didn't want that way of life anymore, so I left. And although I have had a job in the past since coming back, since leaving uni, I haven't gone and got myself an income source since. not because I don't want to, but because I've been on the way to getting one. I've been doing the qualifications, but why is it that I keep saying that and I haven't got the qualifications? In my mind, I'm thinking of saying, why is it that I'm not doing what I need to do? But I am. Maybe that's a part of why or how I've gone and got myself in this position. Invalidation of my progress. Yesterday I worked on level 2 stuff, but I was saying I haven't done it, I think, just a few seconds ago. That's not on. I've got to make myself a plan for how I want to go about getting the poster done, and I think it's possible for me to do the coursework that I need to do, because I'm training myself to go and work on things here in the gym, practical skills that take a lot longer than it might do to get the poster done. Outside of working through other things to get it done that are completely unrelated to the poster. And by that I mean, for example, working through having to accept that I'd be living a completely different way of life if I do have an income source. Working through the fact that I'd have to start getting used to the fact that the bank balance would be replenishing and it wouldn't just be going down. Those sorts of things that are completely unrelated to getting the poster done. I'd have to work through those too. But aside from that, it shouldn't. I don't think it should really take that long. That long being, I don't know, a few weeks. If I were to even take it really slowly, I mean, it shouldn't take that long. I don't think. Aside from accepting that I would have to, I would want to wake up really early, or early at say 4 AM, for example, because I not only want to do the job that I'm going to sign up for, but I'd also want to still carry on learning and growing, just like how I am, without an active source of income, which would be in this case the job. I think I'll be able to do it now, because in my mind I'm now explicitly telling myself that, like with the front level for example, I'd have to tell myself that it's possible. I have to see a progression. I'd have to see some sort of way, somehow that I can do what I need to do in order to move forward and in order to progress. I have to think that it's possible. I apologize for the music. It's not supposed to be like really motivational with the music playing in the background. I can't control it. It's just what's going on. But yeah, I have to think it's possible. Must. If I don't think it's possible for me to get an income source, it won't happen, because my mindset would support that. That being not thinking that I'm incapable of getting an income source, and then from there I'd do anything, because I'd say it and believe it, I'd do everything that would support that way of thinking. It's that simple. If I want to get this job, I now feel more relieved, even though the surface I'm laying my back on quite hard. I have to think it's possible. Must. If I want to be able to improve my financial health, I must think it's possible, some way, somehow, regardless of how small the progression is. Like with a front lever, like me doing it at this height, for example. At this height, for example, where I started off, I have to think that it's possible. I have to see a way, and I have built that, and I just have to go through with it. but I have to see a way. I have to see a way. And like with the front lever, it might help having a end goal to go through or to pursue, like how I'd want to do front levers on that pull-up bar, be able to come up so that my body's completely parallel with the ground. Maybe having an end goal to pursue would help, but I don't know, man. Maybe not even doing that for now, but rather just following the plan that I've made. I must think that it's possible to improve my financial health, or otherwise I'm not going to do it. Not because I'm physically incapable, not because I can't make the moves to make that happen, but because I say it and I believe it, so I do anything that would support that happening. The mind's very, very, very powerful, and it's my responsibility to control it. We're in an age where there are plenty of resources that are extremely easily accessible. So, although you can have reasons for why you might, or mindsets for why or how we're not doing what we need to do in order to progress, it certainly is possible. You can certainly come up with reasons, excuses, however you want to define the two, if you think there is a difference between the two words. That's something that I'd have to think about after seeing the dictionary terms, but I must think it's possible. If I want to improve my financial health, which I do, I must think it's possible. And I must have some form of progression, which I do have, that I'm following through. Not necessarily every day, but consistently enough to the point where I'm making evident progress on a regular basis. That doesn't have to be weekly, that doesn't have to be daily, but the progress must be evident. It must be obviously happening. Not necessarily obvious to other individuals, but to myself, it must be obvious. I must be doing what I need to do in order to progress, to make evident progress. Must. And I must think it's possible. Must. I can't be living this life, this way of life, in which I have 53p in the bank balance at 21. Imagine that. This isn't how I want to live anymore. And in order to improve my financial situation, I must think it's possible. Must. I am making it happen by making that plan and going through with it, but I've just got to keep doing that. Just like how I would with the exercise. Must. It's a must. I don't want to be eating shite anymore. I don't want to be eating low nutritional foods and feeling just basically abusing my youth. Youth at my age, with the exercise I do, is really on my side. But because of my financial situation, which I do have power of controlling, I'm not nourishing myself as much as I could be doing. There'll always be, for as long as I'm alive, I'll always have that space to nourish my mind and my body as well. Always. And I've been thinking that perhaps, just like with the human body, how the human body functions, maybe I could go out my way to further replicate, like, living a way of life that's similar to how the body functions. You digest, you egest, you get rid of waste, some way, somehow, and you feed yourself healthy foods. You exercise, you go out of your way to train, to further develop something. That might be your abilities with weightlifting, that might be your abilities with calisthenics, that might be your abilities with CrossFit. Who knows? But I know that if you nourish the mind and the body will reward you, or at least function properly. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'll leave it at that. My final note would be, I must think it's possible. Must. And following the progression I've made would help. I can't keep eating that food and feeling like crap. Like the Nutella sandwich and the fruit and fibre that I had with the milk that I heated up too much. Having breaded fish, which I don't want to have, which I can't stomach because of the breading. I couldn't stomach the breading. That's why I didn't even finish it. I can't live like this. No one can. I can survive like this, like how I'm surviving now at this point in my life, but I don't want to just survive. I want to live. And I'll make sure that that's happening how I want it to, slowly but surely in that life. Oh, sorry. I find that me living how I want to live is getting easier by the year, or at least, yeah, I'll say by the year. Just like how it has been with making videos. It's effortless to make these videos now, and it might be pleasant to, or make no. It might be that I get to a point where I just find it effortless to be in a financially healthy state, or just healthy in just every other aspect of life. Yeah. Anyway, on that note, I want to get to doing the handstands now. Let's do this. I must think it's possible. I must think it's possible. And must work towards it every day. Well, not necessarily every day, but often enough to a point where I'm seeing evident progress on a regular basis. Maybe a minimum of once every 2 weeks. Yeah. Shoes are off. I'll still weigh a bit because I've got 2 t-shirts on, 2 joggers on, not 2 socks, but 2 pairs of socks. But yeah, I am gonna weigh a bit more because of that. But yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
to sort myself out financially. Otherwise, I won't get anywhere. I must think that it's possible, some way, somehow, even if it's through progression, even if it's just starting to sort myself out. I must think that it is possible that I can do what I need to do. I must think it's possible. Must. Some way, somehow, doing something, at least often enough to see progress.
Right, I'm trying to follow Yoga with Adrian's tips on how to get the headstand done. So, with a video that she made less than a decade ago, I think, 8 to 9 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, 2013 times, maybe. I remember her showing herself bringing one leg close to her stomach and then lifting her second leg to go with that. Now, in that last clip there, before filming it, that's what I tried doing. Now, it seems like it is working, but to land that first headstand without wall support and keep it going for a couple seconds, I am gonna have to just keep on going for it, I think. So that's what I'm gonna do, really. It's as simple as that. I know how to stay in position without wall support. I know what it's like to balance, so that's not an issue. But as for getting and staying in position without wall support, I don't know how to do that, and using Yoga with Adrian's tips might help me there. I don't know. I'll see how that works. I'm just gonna keep on going for it, man. Let's do this. I was watching the last clip back and slowing the frames down to see my highest point, how high I'd get to when pushing up, and maybe the reason why I'm not getting into position is because I might not be leaning forward enough to be able to do the move. So I'm going to try and move more forward before trying to jump into it and see how it goes. Overshooting, throwing myself might help here, but if I am to do that, I'd rather it be by the wall rather than by the glass where I'm at, because I could smash that. I don't even want to slightly damage the property of the gym. I haven't come here to vandalize the place. Even though I would imagine that they'd understand it's an accident, I'd still be damaging their property. I don't want to do that at all. It's not buying to damage. Plus, that could come with legal consequences. But anyway, I am just going to give it a break for a few minutes, maybe walk around, and from there, I'll go for it again using those tips that I've just given myself now. So, leaning more forward and also pushing with my elbows more, like how Yoga with Adrian said, press into your foundations. By that, I think I'd be pushing with my elbows, like how I would by the wall, and maybe my head as well a little bit, because I find that I push with my head a bit when I'm by the wall, maybe just a little bit, and then from there, just getting used to balancing without any wall support there too. On that note, I'm going to give myself a few minutes and then do as I said. whoa. Shit. Okay, that seemed quite scary, but I think I've got it. I think I know what to do now. So, following my advice helped. So, I think what I could do is come up as close as I can with my legs. So, bring my legs to my stomach as close as I can on the floor. Bring one foot up, and then, literally, like yoga with Adrian said, try and bring, well, she said try and bring your legs close to your chest. But for me, what worked then was trying to bring my legs close to my belly button. I found a balance that way. I think all I have to do, I figured out how to do it. I just need to hold that now. I just need to get used to that feeling, because it's certainly different than anything I've felt before whilst doing the headstand. So I think I've got it, but now I just need to do that again and again and again and get used to that. And then from there, I would have unlocked the headstand. Okay, I've got it now. All I have to do is just that, but put more pressure on my elbows. When I've done that, I've unlocked the headstand without wall support. That was it. And in my mind, before filming that clip, I was saying this is gonna be it. Turns out it was. It's an invalid. I say it is an unsuccessful attempt. However, it's so close to a successful attempt that it's basically like my first one. I'm not gonna count it though. I'm very, very close. On that note, I'm gonna keep on going for it. It being doing the headstand without any wall support, but the wall close by, and then eventually I'll move further away. Let's do this. I've got this. I can do this. I'm so close, man. All I have to do is literally just do what I did just then, and put more pressure on my elbows, and that's it. I've unlocked the headstand. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's all I've got to do. Alright, I'm gonna have a break and then get back to it. That's it, that counts. I think that's my first attempt, my first successful attempt of doing the headstand without wall support. I've got this now. I just have to hold it. Self high five, self hug. Cheers to mastering the skill. I'd say I've unlocked it though. But that said, I am gonna go out my way to hold it for a couple of seconds longer so that the proof is undeniably valid that I can do a headstand now without wall support. But at least, close to the wall for now, but then I'll move further away. I need to use my elbows more. Perhaps for now, what I could do is go out my way to not focus on staying in position, but learn how to get into position and find that balance. I know how to stay in position, so I don't think that should be something I should focus on because I know how to do that. But for now, I think what I should instead do is go out my way to keep knowing how to get into position and find that balance point, and leave this session having tips that I can just use like that for when I come back and do the headstand whenever I do it tomorrow, I'd assume. Yeah, learning how to mastering that getting into position thing, or getting into position for the headstand is I think what's going to help me at this stage now. Yeah, seeing as that's what I'm coming to grips with doing. That's what I'm getting a feel for doing at this moment. Yeah. I'm starting to feel hungry, so I'm gonna call it a day with the headstands. I was looking at the bar and I was thinking, just do the front lever, do it, just try it out. So I'm gonna give it a go, and maybe I might make some evident progress. I might not, but if I do the front levers, I will progress. All right, let's do this. I'll probably do it for a few minutes and then leave, because I'm again, as I said, I'm feeling hungry, so I'll probably leave to go get myself something to eat, but soon, maybe in a few minutes, but I don't know. Yeah, man, on to the front levers we go. I said I'd progress, and I did. I've made evident progress. I was able to hold that for longer, and it's never felt like this before. I really felt my abs and my shoulders after coming off. When I was getting into position, I really felt my abs working, but it was only after I let go of the bar when that was when I felt my shoulders working. It could be because not only has my core got stronger, but my shoulders have too after going out my way to lift 40 kg on the shoulder press. Maybe it seems like that's helped with the front lever and not the headstand, surprisingly, but it doesn't matter. It could be that the shoulder press progress I made yesterday has been helping with the headstand, but I just haven't been noticing it. I might go out my way to do a couple more, seeing as I'm seeing this evident progress. I mean, I've been able to hold it for longer, evidently. It being the front lever, of course. I'll see. I'll watch the footage back, and then I'll go for a couple more front levers with no purpose in mind other than to hold it for as long as I can, really, and then maybe try and stretch my legs out. I didn't expect to make this sort of progress. I thought I'd be stretching my legs out just off the top, because that's what I've been doing for the past however many days now. But yeah, I feel more than okay with the progress that I've made without stretching my legs out. Yeah. Mate, je suis finito. Yeah, je suis finito. Je suis finito. I'm done. Yeah, it's time to call it a day. I'm feeling hungry. It's time to go eat, man. Yeah. I can't believe what I've just seen. I've just seen two people try and do pull-ups on the same bar at the same time. That just looked really strange. But anyway, yeah, man. Things you see, things you might see at the gym at Planet Fitness. This isn't a Planet Fitness, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to use this clip to say it's the end of the video. I feel happy with the progress that I've made. At least I'm not doing that anymore. But yeah, man. Je suis finito. Time to call it a day. It's me signing out. Cheers to the progress I've made today, the headstand progress and the front lever progress too, which I wasn't expecting. And cheers to adding on that progress tomorrow. It's the same sort of mindset that I can use with improving my financial health and every other aspect of my life as the days go on. Yeah. Peace. Cheers to making things happen, man, because it absolutely is more than possible on the premise that I put the work in and I put the effort in.